guys, it is Workout Wednesday of MS Awareness Month. Hope you all are doing well and enjoying the videos that I've been posting. Thank you as always for all your likes, comments, and shares. Definitely keep them up. And today I wanted to share with you some tips on how you can begin exercising, especially if you have an autoimmune, specifically MS. So we are going to start with none other than one of my most favorite ways to exercise, which is yoga. It's a great way to move, to alleviate stress, and to even reduce some aches and pains in the body. There are a variety of different forms of yoga that you can take, so it's important to identify the one that is most appropriate for you. Vinyasa is one that is a little bit more of an active class. It's more of a fluid motion, so you're flowing from one pose into the next. Restorative yoga is one, just as it sounds, it's a little bit more relaxing, very prop friendly to get your body in the pose in the most comfortable way. And then there's yin yoga. That's one where you may only do a handful of poses throughout the entire class because you're holding them for longer periods of time. You can hold them from 3 to 5 minutes for each pose. And then there's chair yoga. And with chair yoga, you are just modifying a lot of the traditional poses to be done directly in a chair. Of course, there are countless other yoga classes, or styles rather. There are so many I can't even count, but as I said, it's important just to recognize which one is the most appropriate fit for you, and know that a more advanced class is not necessarily better. And that's true in the case of exercise as a whole, again, especially if you have an autoimmune and MS. You want to take more of the Goldilocks approach, so not too little, but also not too much. Those that were living with MS were actually initially told not to exercise because of the fatigue that they would experience. Their physicians told them that exercising would actually make their fatigue worse, so they kind of had to conserve their energy. So don't exercise, just rest, because you only had a certain amount of energy. Thankfully, that message has changed because we've gotten wiser to know that exercise, a moderate level of exercise, can actually help to alleviate some of that fatigue. Now I say moderate. You're going to be the best judge to know what moderate exercise is for you, and to recognize that that may change on a week-to-week or even day-to-day basis. Some days you may have more energy and may be able to do more exercise. Other days you may be more fatigued or dealing with some other symptom, and you want to make sure that you're not pushing yourself too far if you are feeling extreme fatigue. So if you do something that's too intense at a time that you're depleted, you will actually create more inflammation and increase the fatigue than any benefits that you would get out of it. That said, on the flip side, if you're not doing any type of movement, it's also important to recognize that oftentimes in those situations, action precedes motivation. In other words, you might not always feel the excitement to exercise, but once you get your body moving, you'll feel better, you'll alleviate some of that fatigue, maybe cut some of the brain fog, and alleviate some of the aches and pains in your body. So you have to, as I said, not too little, not too much. You have to find that right balance for you. The one study that I recently learned about that I thought was interesting to share is came from right here in New Jersey. Rutgers University did a study back in 2014 of 14 women ranging in age from 34 to 64 who had pretty moderate disabilities due to MS. And they monitored them as they did an 8-week cycle of yoga. So twice a week they would do a 90-minute class, and they were monitoring them for any benefits that they had received from the class. And what they found at the end of it, the participants reported less fatigue, less aches and pains, better concentration, even things as improved motor skills and improved vision. And you don't necessarily need to do a full 90-minute class to get the benefits of that. You can do a few minutes a day, and if you're consistent with that, that in and of itself is going to make a tremendous difference for you. Because yoga addresses not just the physical body, it addresses your whole being. It addresses your physical body, your mental body, and your emotional body. So what I would love to share with you today are a few poses that you could do directly in a chair. It's something that you could do in your home, you could do in your office, wherever you found the space to do so. All you need is a chair, so if you have one close by, grab it and join me, and we'll do a few yoga poses right here. So we'll just sit on the edge of our chair here. And I like to sit on the edge because I feel like it gives me an opportunity to sit up a little bit taller. So you want to sit on what we call our sits bones, and think about the crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. So you think about the space being created between each vertebrae there. And as you sit here, have your feet directly below your knees. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and down, and you can allow the palms just to relax comfortably in your lap. And if you'd like, you can take a soft gaze onto the floor or gently let your eyes float closed. And as you do so, just come into your breath. So greet your breath exactly as it is in this moment. Without a sense of trying to control it or change it. Just greet your breath. Noticing the rhythm of the breath. And where in the body you feel the movement with each inhale and each exhale. If you'd like, you can place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Again, noticing where you feel the movement as the breath fills the lungs, fills the belly, and then exhale, releases out through the nose. Know that as you close the eyes or take that soft gaze onto the floor and come into your breath, your thoughts are not going to turn off. A lot of times we feel like we're not doing it right or it's not working if the mind is still active. That's part of the practice. And then once that feels complete for you, you can return your hands back to your lap. And gently let the eyes float open. Bring your hands alongside your body, and on your next inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Fingertips reach up towards the ceiling with lots of length between your neck and between your ears and your shoulders. And then exhale, release your hands back down. So inhale, you lift. The movement should take the full cycle of that breath. So by the time you reach your hands up towards the ceiling is at the end of your inhale, and then the movement of your hands returning back down alongside your body is the exact amount of time of your exhalation. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, you reach. Really think about reaching the sides of the wall as you reach up. And then exhale, release that back down. Good. And now let's bring our hands to our knees, and we're going to bring a little bit more movement to the spine. So as you inhale, roll the shoulders back, open the chest and open the belly. And then as you exhale, round the spine out, scoop the belly out, drop the head down fully. And then inhale, roll forward. Good. Exhale, round it out. So moving at a rhythm that feels good for you. And again, this may be different from day to day. Some days it may feel really good to hold one aspect of the pose. And then other days it may feel better to go more into a fluid motion here. Good. Let's get one more full cycle of this. Round it out. And then inhale, open up the heart, the chest, the belly. Good. And now we're going to take that around in a circular motion. So inhale, roll it forward. Exhale, come to scoop it out around the back. So here we're getting an opportunity to open up the hips and again, bring more flexibility to that spine. So often throughout our day, we're rounding forward, whether we're on a computer, driving with our hands on the steering wheel, or even just have our hands and our head down looking at a text message or an iPad, whatever it may be. And all of that closes off the front side of the body. Good. Bring that to a stillness and then go in the opposite direction. So we realized that we actually only use about 1/6 of our lung capacity. And certainly from a fatigue perspective, the more that you're taking full, deeper breaths, the more you are likely to alleviate some of those fatigue symptoms there. Good. Bring that to a stillness here. And then roll the shoulders back. And let's come into a seated twist. So take your right hand, point the fingertips behind you, place your palm at the base of your seat. So you're placing at the base of your spine and the palm is down onto the seat cushion there. Take your left hand, bring it to the outside of your right knee. Before you twist around, I want you to think about pressing your right hand into the seat of the chair, lift up, let your spine grow nice and tall, and then exhale, come into the twist. So inhale, you lift, your head grows, the crown of the head reaches taller towards the ceiling, and then exhale, you twist further behind you. One more full cycle of breath. Inhale, you lift, and exhale, you twist. Good. And then bring that back to neutral position, returning back nice and slow. Roll the shoulders back. Take your left palm, place it at the base of your seat, right hand on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lift it up nice and tall, crown of the head lifts up, and then exhale, you twist. So these twisting poses are not only really beneficial for your the health of your spine, but they're also really good to massage your internal organs. So they're really helpful if you have any digestive issues. Inhale and then exhale, twist it out. Good, and then bring that back to a neutral position here. Good, I always like to return, rolling the shoulders back, getting in that proper alignment. Now we can do one for the lower body. So extend your leg out long. Your left knee is bent, your right leg is extended out long. I almost like to think of it as if you're in the car, in the driver's seat. But instead of your toes pointing down as if you're pressing a gas pedal, I want you to think about bringing your toes up towards your chest there. Just doing that, you may feel an intense stretch on the back side of your leg, stretching out the hamstring there. Either way, you have an opportunity to bring your hands on the outside of the chair here. I like to do it on the outside of the chair and then just hinge it forward. I get a more intense stretch on the back of the hamstring. The alternative is just to round forward, but in that case, you're just pulling on your low back there. You want the stretch to be on the back of your leg, the hamstring. So it's just a light grip that you have, or almost just like resting your hands there as a reminder to keep a nice flat back and hinge it forward. You hold for a few breaths, and your gaze can be just past your toes so that your neck is an extension of your spine. It's not dropped down or it's not wrenched up there. It's in a nice alignment. And then inhale, bring that back up, extend your left leg forward, hinge it forward. Good. Stretching out the hamstrings. And as always, breathing through the stillness of each pose. Seeing if you're holding tension in any area of the body that you can release with your next exhale. Good, and then bring that back up to center there. You can bring your hands back into your lap, and you can take a few moments here to close out your practice by just closing your eyes and focusing on your breath. That's a great practice to be able to do throughout your day. And I hope you have an opportunity to incorporate some of these yoga practices or yoga poses as well. They're really beneficial, as I said, for your full body, your physical body, your mental body, and your emotional body. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you find an opportunity to practice this throughout your day. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care.